Hey, what up, football fans? It's your boy Lolo, more like your boy No, because it's not Lolo. It's Mr. Tom and it's Mr. Ben. It's We All Love Leeds on On the Stoop without Lolo takeover as it's Friday. Ben, how are you, brother?
I'm very well, mate. How are you?
I've had worse evenings.
Oh, definitely so.
Right, let's get into it. Ben, how do you think it went?
Hey, knuckleheads.
Comfortable a bit.
Gotta start the show right. Start the show right. Cheers, you knuckleheads.
Let's pretend this is a beer.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, here we go.
Gotta love him. Gotta love him. That's Director John from We All Love Leeds.
Yes.
Yeah, it went well, mate. I thought we were comfortable throughout the full game, to be honest. It was a little bit tit for tat second half, but we seem to defend where we don't give away too many chances.
I thought the first half we were really ropey, but thankfully everyone else in the championship is also really ropey, so you get away with it. Even against Stoke, we rode our luck, I suppose, but could be a lot worse.
We were a yard slower in the first half, definitely, but because we're considerably better than everyone else, we can get away with it.
I just realised, though, Mr. Ben, very rude of me. I'll say me. I'm not going to blame you for being rude because you're not being rude. But me personally, I haven't said hello to all our lads in the chat. So hello. Obviously we got our boys, Anders from Sweden, John LUFC Garside, or as Mr. Lolo would say, John Luff Garside, Scooby D2, Bono, all the way from Ireland, is in the house. Pink Cushion, Bremner's Ghost, Jimmy. And we'll say hello as they pop in. But, Ben, is there anything else that you would like to get off your chest about tonight's Wonder Show?
Yeah, Junior. Third post show.
He had a solid second half.
I'm going to spoiler alert, yeah, because there's not really a wanker this week. I'm going to have a king of the week, I think.
Don't give away all your secrets on this crappy show. Save some for your, save some for your show.
We've got to entice these crappy shows fans. I think we've got them all already anyway, haven't we?
It's similar faces or names to what we see on a Sunday, but no harm in that. Anyway, that being said, I can... Wait, what's that? It's a Friday night, so I think I can smell... It's the cabin crew. I believe I can smell a guest. I think I can smell a guest. Oh, look, it's David from home.
This is how you do it, boys. This is how you do it. Yeah. There we go.
How many
Happy Friday. Happy Friday, guys.
Cheers, buddy.
How are we doing?
How you been, David? Yeah, good. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Just not working at the moment, so it's all a bit quiet. Just spending too much money on having the kitchen done, but there you go.
So what's your initial thoughts on the evening's outcome?
I thought it was a real tidy game, to be honest. I didn't think we were, apart from the save early on by Meslier, which I thought was a superb save. Could have very much changed the game. But I thought we were pretty much untroubled. I thought the defending was fantastic. And I didn't really feel that they troubled us, even when in the second half, when Meslier made the save where it just bounced in front of him and he spilled it a little bit. But I thought it was quite a difficult save. But I felt like he was going to get to the ball first anyway. I mean, Ampadu was there as well. Certainly the fact that Meslier got the second touch. And I don't know, was it Barry Bannon who was coming in on it?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player, isn't he? But yeah, I mean, he didn't. I think it more came off him rather than he actually
Is
hit
he a
it.
good? Is Barry
Yeah,
Bannon?
he is.
I'm not saying that to insult him, but I get the feeling he's one of those that, and this could be a totally irrational opinion, but I get the feeling he's one of those who he's playing Leeds and he's got a bee in his bonnet about us because like he had a very short loan spell.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those, when you're like, oh, I'm going to give 200%, like Lewis Baker on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Every time Lewis Baker got the ball and he even sniffed the goal, he was having a crack at it.
I know what you're saying, and
But I
he
don't watch
always,
them weekly, Dave.
he always has a good game against us without a doubt. But he's a good, tidy player. He gets about, he pulls the strings.
Isn't he?
Yeah, but he's clever as well with it, and he's at the right standard, isn't he?
As well. Yeah.
That's it. Find space. Yeah, I mean,
tidy with the ball.
Yeah, very. I mean, I don't know if you watched the game where they won. Was it the semi-final that they came back in to get themselves into the playoff final?
5-1,
yeah, where they came back, and he was instrumental in everything that night. He's a good player at that level. Even if he was in the Leeds side, he wouldn't look out of place. He's just the wrong sort of age, But,
I'm always suspicious. I'm suspicious of footballers that have the first name Barry in 2024. Just can't put my finger on it.
I think at many points in his career, he's been a lot better than Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah,
but he's been loyal to them. So
yeah. When they were saying he's made like 200. Was it? No, it's 400 appearances, wasn't
400,
it?
400.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, what? When? How? Like, where'd that come from? Because I remember when he was like turning out for Villa against us.
Yeah.
But where's it? Like, I know you play a lot of games in the lower tiers in England, but
he's been with them a while now.
It's like he's been there for like 7 years.
Yeah. And he's hardly ever injured.
Yeah. Well, clearly to play that many games.
Yeah.
I'd have been more surprised if they went. We've played 400 games in 20 seasons. Yeah. But
yeah. Anyway, getting back to it. Yeah, I thought those two saves by Meslier I thought were fantastic. But other than that, I never felt that they were going to score. I thought our defending was good, even at the corners and the, any set pieces, long throws. I thought we were solid. I thought Ampadu was just terrific tonight. Absolutely terrific. Not only was he solid at the back, but the fact that he was actually stepping forward and bringing the ball out, breaking the line to begin with, which of course draws their players onto him. I thought he was superb. Firpo was a little bit shaky to begin with, I think it's fair to say, but the boy come good. He got better as the half went on, especially in the last 5 minutes. And that cross that he whipped in was just delightful. And, the movement by Bamford as well. Fantastic. So, yeah, good goal. And to be honest, once that went in, I thought, I can't see them coming back from that. We got a second goal at the right time. Should have got a third one. But I felt once we were 2-0 up, that was it. It was good night. And although they actually started playing more when they should have gone 3-0 down, they sort of got back into it. They actually started working harder. And maybe if they'd been like that the whole night, they would have given us a bit more of a game.
I think that cleared off the line chance gave them a little bit of
impetus.
We can get some here, yeah. That's the word, impetus.
Yeah.
Do you not feel there was a case of...
Who are you calling impotent?
I felt the game, it was game when it went 2-0, and I know it's arrogant to say this, but it felt like, well, that's the game done. Because they were very huff and puff, but they weren't blowing the house down at any point.
No,
Even
no.
though we were in that final minute or so, like the 5-minute injury time period, whatever it was, it felt like we were defending for our lives just to preserve the clean sheet record we have.
Mm. I think that's part. Sorry.
No, that's fine. No, just
I
felt
think-
it was very admirable. So,
Yeah, I think that's where the confidence comes, isn't it? Is because you don't think they're going to score, because how many goals have we conceded in the league this year?
Exactly. This
3?
year, see, three.
That's unbelievable.
I
And
believe
that-
in
that's
2024.
that's the best defence in the league, right? With 2 centre
scored
midfielders in it.
26, I believe. Name 3.
Yeah. You're
Good
right.
form,
Yeah.
innit? It's not bad.
It just,
form, is it?
so if you're not conceding, once you're 2-0 up, you're pretty much like, okay, well, the worst that can happen is that we're going to draw this game. And it's highly unlikely they're going to score anyway. So yeah, no, I thought it was a very good performance. I was interested by Fark's comments after the last game, the Stoke game, where we did struggle a bit, but he thought it was the best.
Yeah.
He thought it was the best performance of the season. Looking back at it, I watched it again, and I think it was maybe,
Yeah, it was a battle on it. It was an ugly win, which is. Yeah, I understood what he meant by it when he said it.
You don't. They total the wins and the points, don't they? They don't look at how many games did you win, 5-0 or 5-1.
No,
like it's irrelevant. I mean,
well, they do if you level on points.
Yes, that is true. But even then, I think there's like one team in the league, isn't there, where that actually would be a concern. So,
how are we now with the goal difference compared to Leicester?
If only we had a league table that could, as if by magic.
1 goal.
So yeah.
Wow, look at that.
1 goal. And obviously, if they
where
lose,
were we?
that would go level.
Where were we at the end of December?
17 behind.
Yeah. Hey, screw that. They don't pay me enough to do that type of work.
Yeah, no.
Like, we're supposed to pay him.
A lot of points, and the goal difference was huge as well.
Yeah. But then, again, David,
22 points off 7th.
If you win 10 games out of 11, or what is it, 11 out of 12, whatever it is, if you win that number of games, you'll probably be unsurprised to discover that your goal difference will improve significantly.
Of course. Oh, look at that.
And, I mean, that is tight at the bottom, though, isn't it?
Unbelievable, isn't it? The fact that if they had won that tonight, they would have gone up to 16th. Is it 16th?
On performances, though, them two shouldn't be in the bottom 2.
If you look at the...
they're not the worst teams we've played this season. By a long shot.
I think Wednesday were pretty awful when they came to our place. But they're a completely different side now, aren't they? Completely. The way
Stoke weren't a bad side. Stoke played well.
Yeah.
I think there are reasons why they are where they are, though, and I don't necessarily mean like boardroom turmoil and things like this. I mean, you can see how they only switch off once and then they concede. Because we didn't even really lay a glove on them in that first half. I know we had the chance with Bamford, etc., but it still felt like we weren't getting the shots off.
Rutter was through, wasn't he? And he, maybe should have done a bit better. I think the bounce, it sort of slowed up. It didn't go in front of him, did it? But it's so I thought it was a neat win. To be honest, I looked at it when I was looking at all the run-ins for the different teams the other day, and sort of going, okay, they'll win that one, they'll lose that one, they'll draw that one, and this was a game that I thought that we could potentially drop points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The box
thought
ticks win,
Historically
wasn't
do
it?
well there.
1-1. I was thinking of 1-1.
Yeah.
You know.
It
So I
was,
think
a
we did
box
really
tick
well.
win, wasn't it? Box ticked, done.
Yeah. Move on.
It
Have a
feels like
week
we
off.
don't usually do well there, though.
No.
I've seen us win
I
there a
don't
few
have to
times.
hand the record, but it's one of those where it just feels like I have more memories of like not doing well there than doing well there. If you get what I mean.
I don't know what the
That
actual
being said,
what it is, but
yeah, just feels nice to have got out of there. And like you say, 9 games, 9 days until the next one.
Do we have any tomorrow's fixtures? Oh,
As if
look
by
at that.
magic. Best in the business, John. But yeah,
Tricky one
so
for Leicester,
tomorrow,
then.
yeah.
I
Leicester.
also
If you look in
think-
the
I also think
form
that's
guide,
tricky for Ipswich.
yeah. If you
they
look
were
in the
probably
form
saying
guide,
the same
sorry.
about us, though.
Yeah. Carry on. Sorry.
If you look in the form guide, I think Leicester are something like 16th in the form guide.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you.
On the last 6 games. And Southampton, I think, are maybe even one above them. So, Leicester are not. They're not doing well, are they, at the moment? So
It's Lolo.
We'll see.
How are
Who's
you doing,
Lolo?
sir?
Aha!
Oh, he's landed in New York. Quick, John. Let's take our internet and run off so he can't catch us. Let's get on it. No, exactly right, David.
I'm just going to ring a tip into New York Customs. 1 second.
I won't say what I was thinking.
I did put something in his luggage.
So I'm getting the sense, as I alluded to earlier, that I think a lot of teams, well, say a lot of teams, the 3 teams that we are realistically competing with, we're looking at tonight's game going, look at Sheffield Wednesday's form.
Yeah.
We'd love them to go against a team that we're in direct competition with, because they need the win. So they were never going to play through a
third in
point
the form
against us.
table, yeah.
And
Cool.
well, don't watch the intro, Lolo, because anyway,
Yeah, sorry, Leicester
Where's he
was
been? Miami.
Leicester was
Been to
13th.
Miami looking at retirement. 13th in the form table.
Yeah, and Southampton are actually 1 place above them in 12th.
See, what did you make of? I know their game was cancelled. Southampton's on, was it Wednesday? And I know like that can't be helped because obviously it was a decision out of the football god's hands. Let's just say.
Yeah.
So all right, but I got the feeling it may shape up a bit like a. When we were in the Premier League and Burnley had loads of games in hand, but if they'd have played those games in hand, they would have been against teams that were actually like competing for places. Whereas they then started playing these games in hand in April against teams like West Ham was safe and had nothing to play for, and I think they played a Southampton team like that.
This league's a lot tighter, though, isn't it? A lot tighter. I think Preston will be in that playoff mix for a while. So.
Are you looking at that?
Are they
Tom?
in the playoff mix?
They're not far off it, are they? Go back
Preston.
to that league. Yeah.
Sorry, John. If you could put the table back
just
up,
outside. I think they're 2 places outside the playoffs, aren't
they? Okay, fair enough.
Are they?
I suppose
4
my
points.
theory is that by the time that match rolls around, it'll be a lot more than 4 points.
Yeah, they've got a game in hand as well, so that's their game in hand. So they could have something to play for.
Hello, Ryan. How you doing?
Depends when they squeeze it in. They might squeeze it in on an FA Cup week, which gives them a 3-game weekend, doesn't it? So.
I was going to say, are you looking at this more from a Southampton challenging point of view, or what, Tom?
Yeah,
I suppose so. Like, don't get me like. I appreciate we're 9 points in front, right? But they will see it as they're only 3 points behind because they're going to play games they expect to win. Now, obviously, as we discovered with their previous Oh, hello, Rhiannon. How you doing?
And
It's
Hey,
her birthday on
Rhiannon.
Sunday as well, so that should be icing on the cake. But before the birthday, the cake's 2 days old by that point. To be fair, anyway. So where was I?
Happy birthday, Rhiannon, for the weekend, girl.
Well, yeah, I suppose I'm looking at it from a defeatist context, but because I think they look at it from the arrogant standpoint that they're already points in the bag, and they're not points in the bag.
Nah.
You
Nah,
got
and
like because they were talking like they'd already beat Hull, and then they lost.
To be honest, you know what? When I look at the games now, I know they've got to play Leicester and they've got to play Ipswich, but I'm not really looking at them as a challenger at the moment. I'm
Ipswich
more
are
that.
more a threat, aren't they? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ipswich and Leicester, and I said a long time ago that I sort of half fancied Leicester to drop right out of it.
I did as well. It'd be funny if it was us on Ipswich.
Yeah. I you know what? I'd be quite happy if Ipswich went and won it. If we came second and Leicester ended up third, that'd be quite comical.
I have massive Ipswich anxiety because they are the footballing equivalent of you can't win the lottery unless you buy a ticket.
Yeah.
And they shoot and shoot and shoot, and it will it'll take 96 deflections. It will find its way into that net, which again is amusing, but at the same time, it's like Jesus Christ. When are they going to regress to like the actual?
We've had a
bang
few
average of
deflected
how they're
goals
actually-
lately, though, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, but it suits me for that to happen
But
to Leeds.
did you watch the highlights or the end of their game the other day?
No.
I'll tell you what happened when
It's
they
too
used the
depressing.
penalty and then they scored about a minute after it. I think I did like the equivalent of basically chucking the TV in the bin and going to bed.
They just don't stop, do they? They just don't stop coming forward
Unless they're playing Leeds.
unless they're playing Leeds, yeah. But they against these other teams, you can see how they win. I mean, they're relentless. They just keep
Does
on
it not
coming.
frustrate you
They
even
got-
more that the fact
They get
how
McKenna
ordinary we made them look?
Oh, I mean, yeah, we totally outplayed them twice. So even that first game, I thought we outplayed them.
I mean, it feels
We
like
conceded
it feels like we've seen the league like two teams. So Sheffield Wednesday, because they were a bit physical tonight. Not complaining about it, just reality. Stoke were very physical. It's like they watched the blueprint that Huddersfield set out, which had been set out a long time ago, to be fair, like early in the season. Like if you get at Leeds, the way to get anything from Leeds is to obviously take time off the clock, do all these sort of things, right? And I'm not going to complain about it in that sense, but it's a tactic that evidently works. However, it feels like no one watches the how to beat Ipswich blueprint of they'll come at you. So just when Leif Davis is up this end of the pitch, put it where Leif Davis is supposed to be.
Yeah.
What? No one else does that though. They get the early goal on Ipswich and then they go, right, we're now going to settle back and just let them come at us. Yeah, that's how they score 3 times against you in reply.
That's right. And the thing is, they make their own luck because, as you said, I mean, they just shoot and shoot and shoot. So the odds are that you're going to get at least 1 or 2 deflections every game if you just shoot and shoot and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's actually like my one frustration with us is I feel like it's very 2004, like early 2000s Arsenal, where not to bring them up, but the example of this of trying to walk
you
into
just
the net.
did.
Yeah, I know. It's like saying Candyman.
That was the
3 times into the mirror.
obligatory mention of Arsenal tonight.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure either Gary or Lolo is going to appear in the mirror behind me and like smack me with a cannon or something like that. But just, I wish I had mentioned them. No, but seriously, it feels like we try and walk the ball into the net, and it's like, just shoot, have a do what Archie Gray did and have a pop. And even if it was going to go 60 yards wide, it might hit someone. And if it does, championship goalkeepers are ropey, so they probably won't account for it.
I think Lobto had a couple of chances tonight, which got snuffed out, didn't they? The shots just didn't get through, unfortunately. Bamford's had a shot here and there. Rutter, as I say, he should have scored really, but hey ho. And Somerville, I thought that was actually a very
Should
good
have
save
scored
from
two,
their
yeah.
kick. The second one where Nonto played him through. I thought that was a cracking save, I have to say, by the keeper. I
Yeah.
know he was right on it, but it was one of those ones where the keeper's there and he made it. Good keeper, actually. 19 years old.
Yeah.
Can't be blamed
I
for
don't
anything.
think I don't think we put him under enough pressure early on in the game. And I know this sounds really horrible. I don't think we bullied him enough. I really don't think we
was going to
bullied him.
suffer at the hand of Beadle.
Which hand? The bigger hand or the little hand? Sorry, what? It's more of a claw, isn't it? Anyway.
Yeah. It was past tense.
It was.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good game.
I remember. No, sorry, David. Go on.
No, that's okay. I was just saying, yeah, it's a good game. Far better than, was it Tuesday night when we played? Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Rhiannon brings up the question that I was actually
Wednesday,
asked while you were discussing Somerville.
It was Tuesday, sorry.
Why do you think he's gone off the boil? As in, like, because obviously he's not getting goals or assists really at the moment. Is it coincidental like that? Bamford is back in the fold, which means he's
I
doing
think it's
less.
because teams are doubling up on him.
Okay.
I do. I just think they've played him once. Now they double up on him.
Yeah.
I thought maybe like 4 months of playing Peru and he's getting loads of goals, and then we have like 2 months of Bamford and Bamford's getting goals and he isn't. I mean, we're still getting them, so I don't really care who. But for his personal perspective, just wondered what if there was something more of a play.
I wonder if he's carrying a bit of an injury as well. Because he doesn't seem to be quite as sharp off the mark. And as you say, he's being double teamed.
He's been getting kicked all season, hasn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, the worst one was it Pearson Hull who just went down the back of his car. And I don't think he didn't even get booked for it. Unbelievable. But yeah, it'll come. The trouble is, if you're always cutting in on your right, which invariably he does, teams are going to get wise to it, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's all part of learning. He's a young kid, and maybe I think he got hyped up a bit more than probably he should have been. Which I know Leeds fans can do that with some of the kids when they come in through and whatnot,
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
looking on
you've
the
seen
flip
Joffrey lately?
side. Sorry,
Joffrey lately. You seen him? No one
No,
has. But
he came on near the end against Chelsea, was it?
yeah,
And
because I was like, where the hell have you been?
But he's been injured as well, Tom.
But he was the second coming of Christ. for our
Yeah,
team.
yeah. But he's had a few injuries this year. Silly injuries. I mean, like the last one where he missed, he was going to be involved, and I can't remember who we played, but we ended up with 2 goalkeepers on the bench. He was meant to be on the bench that game, but he had the back spasm or something. Just silly things, But it happens, But I don't think he's not moved on as we hoped he would do, Joffrey. But we'll see. We'll have to see how he gets
different
on.
managers, isn't it? Different managers look for different things.
Yeah.
They all look for goals though, and he obviously didn't do enough of them at times when he was put in positions to get them, I suppose. I mean, I'll say that. I mean, he obviously has not been part of fantastic lineups that have obviously made the best of his talents, let's just say. But there's still an element of it where it comes down to the individual themselves.
Yeah.
But that being said, sorry, David, go on.
His loan move last year didn't work out, did it? He went to Sunderland, hoping to play playing sort of the number 10, the second striker, and suddenly, because of the injury, I can't remember the name of their main guy, but Stuart, was it? Maybe Stuart. He got injured, and suddenly Joffrey was expected to be the main man, which I think he was too young and not physical enough. And whilst he did his best, that's just not his game. So almost like a wasted year there,
All
There
right.
you go.
So, but that still doesn't really explain why I get a fright every time I hear that Roberts is coming on, and then the relief when I discover it's Connor Roberts, because I get like this existential fear of, oh my God, is Tyler Roberts still at Leeds United?
Well, he was
He
one
missed
of
the
my
sitters today as well.
he was one of my favourites. Tyler was.
Them
I
two
like
headers
him.
against Hull. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, but all I'll say is this: why did Bielsa keep on playing him?
I don't know.
Well, I can imagine exactly
None of us
why.
did. None of us knew.
He did a lot.
After-
He did a lot during the games, which people just didn't see. He's a lot of running off the ball and everything, and it's the thing that let him down was he wasn't scoring goals. That's what let him down.
I'll tell you what let him down. The fact that he would be the go-to substitute to try and turn the game in the 65th minute, and then he wouldn't turn the game. And over time, that creates, No, I don't hate him. I don't hate him. It's just making a joke about him. But I feel like, who are we to question Professor Bielsa? Ultimately,
Exactly. And he was playing in a side that, quite frankly, weren't going to come back in games, generally as a rule.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Subs don't. It's a total myth / exaggeration of football when that bringing on a sub will change the game. It's very rare.
Down.
Like statistically,
VIP.
subs scoring is more rare than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was such a big deal, because of how many times he did.
Yeah, David Fairclough at Liverpool back in the, was it 70s? 70s, late 70s, 80s. He was the original super sub. But yeah, there's not many. You might get the odd one who comes on, scores a goal.
Yeah, it does happen. It happens enough for people to believe it should happen more often.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is actually a lot. Like this weekend, you will find there will not be a lot of games where subs come on and score goals.
No.
There probably will now have said that, because the football gods like to make an arse out of people when they say things. But
sorry about that.
No problem, mate. My main problem with his 2 goals against Hull, and obviously I don't really have a problem with it. Of course, I love the fact that we won 4-0 at Hull, but because of the timing of it, because I believe it was the week before the Ayling game, which then obviously basically sent England into COVID. The goal was so great it shut down the country for 4 months, essentially. My problem with it is that we then had that 4-month clamour for Tyler Roberts, which probably was really unfair on him.
Yeah.
Because then we came back from that and was like, oh, if we start Tyler Roberts instead of Bamford, he'll get loads of goals for us, because he got 2 against Hull. Here comes Hull down the motorway to get scored on by Tyler Roberts or whatever. But, it's just...
Sorry, I've got the boxing on as well. And
Yeah, so have I.
I think it's fair to say
He's dropped him. He's out.
He's
knocked him out cold.
And Garner has just been retired, hasn't he?
Sparked him out.
You guys are watching
Nasty
something
punch.
else while this
That was a punch. That
we're
knocked him down in first round, and then
Tom, what are we going to do with them, Tom?
That was quick.
And Fury struggled to do that.
Yeah.
Fury's ass, absolute ass.
So if anyone didn't want to know the result of the boxing, look away 3 minutes ago. Basically. So yeah. Anyway. Anyway, so
But yeah,
that was
no,
our
I think
Tyler
you're quite
Roberts
right.
section. No,
I
sorry,
think you're
what's
quite
that, David?
right there. I think you're quite right about him. I think he was. Fans expected too much of him. He's not a striker. He's not a goal scorer. He might get the odd goal, but he's not a goal. You know, he's not
We've
a
had a few
forward as
players
such.
where we don't know what they are, haven't we? Really,
Yeah, yeah.
we've got one now in Pirro. We don't know what he is.
We've got one in Firpo where we can't quite decide whether he's a god or a king. Really, he's both, but
he's just Firpo.
He's a
That's it.
magician.
when he laid that back pass off, I was that close. You know, the back pass that nearly cost us a goal. I'm sure he did it on purpose.
He tends to do one
just as a
again,
joke
doesn't
on
he?
the lads. Yeah, yeah. I was that close to typing in the group chat. Well, Firpo is over, you know. But then he went and made the assist, so I was like, oh, I could actually spin this another way.
Yeah.
I was like, well, Firpo is all year round, actually.
Yeah. What a cross that was. Well,
A thing of beauty.
It was the first time we actually did it. You know, just got it in the box first time.
But it just goes to show, doesn't it? If you put balls in like that, I mean, between the goalkeeper behind the defender in that 6-yard box, you know, defenders, it's so difficult to defend against. Well, I don't think we do it enough. Often we haven't got somebody actually attacking the ball either.
I think we need to practice headed goals more, crossing.
Sorry,
Some
Mr.
wild headers.
Lolo. I'm so sorry, but we try not to have March puns because it sounds too similar to Marsh.
That guy just won't shut up with it.
He's a genius. He is the world's great. He's the footballing manager equivalent of a used car salesman. He's incredible because he can now just go around the podcast circuit, give all his opinions and fucking make up all his facts about like, oh, we for expected goals we were 8th or whatever it is, and I don't have him right because I haven't fucking listened to it all. But you'll know what I'm going to say. The fact of the matter is, he still won't take another job because he knows if he does, he will have to actually do really well to prove that he's not a shyster.
There you go. Is that in response to a comment? Because I couldn't read it if it was.
No, I just made something up in my head because Lolo said March Dash. Yeah. No. I was just inventing.
You've gone off on a tangent there.
No, yeah, I know I'm prone to do that. Unfortunately, it's usually on Sundays, but yeah. So I'm sorry that I didn't do it earlier. No, I don't know, but yeah.
I didn't realise Marsh had given you PTSD, Tom.
Oh man, the thing is, I was one of his biggest offenders because at the same time, because let's be clear, I'm Leeds through like regardless, like whoever's the manager, whoever's the players, like I just want whoever it is to do well. I wanted Jesse Marsh to do well.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to support a club that has 56 managers in 57 years. It's ridiculous. It's untenable for success for a start.
Yeah.
I mean, not unless you've got billions like Chelsea, and then eventually those wheels will fall off. But you know what I mean. I'm just
talking about money, and especially spending money that you don't have. What do we reckon to the fact you've got teams like Leicester, Everton, Forest, all looks like they're going to get charged sooner or later.
Well, let's just hope Leicester don't go up so they get the punishment next season.
I'd be hilarious.
If Leicester go up, what you mean the
EFL?
They're waiting for a punishment off either. So
basically,
it's more likely to be a fine now in the Premier League.
Well,
they found it the last time they were in the EFL. It didn't matter because they got promoted. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like Villa. Right. If Villa get relegated, they'll get punished. They're still
but Leicester escaped that, didn't they, last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, by getting 200 million in TV revenue.
Did they get
Or
did they
whatever it
get fined or
Yeah,
something
3
like that
million.
instead? Yeah,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
but it was one. It's like Everton getting fined a number of points when the punishment doesn't match the crime. Let's just say, in my opinion.
I mean, I haven't got a point. I haven't got a problem as much as I don't like Everton. I haven't got a problem with the fact that if you get docked points and then you win enough games, you escape it, and fair play to
Well,
you.
like we did
Yeah,
when we was got 15 points. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, even Everton this year. I mean, they got the 10 points, but they made that up quick enough. I'm not sure about them. I mean, the reduction, but again, it's been looked at independently.
I just think that they should get their act together, and the punishment should come in the same season that you breached.
Absolutely. And the thing is, if you don't get, if you're not going to get points docked, then that's surely got to open up to civil cases between the clubs, because clubs are losing out financially because of the other clubs basically cheating, because that's what it is. You're cheating,
Because the reality is they spent money that ostensibly they should not have spent in terms of the rules. Now, we all know that teams have a right to strengthen their teams and that, but they essentially spent money they could not afford on players that were good enough to help them finish above Leeds by 3 points or whatever. But those 3 points cost us £200 million. Plus.
What happens, John? What happens in the NFL if they breach spending caps?
John?
They'd be asleep.
I don't watch the NFL. I don't watch the
NHL. Do they have a spending cap?
They do. They do. I don't think you can. You can't. You cannot exceed it. Don't ask me the nuts and bolts of it, but they do have.
Do teams ever breach it, John?
I don't think so. I know last year
the way to manage it is if you put a package together for a new player, then if the maths don't add up, then you can't sanction the deal. It'd be something like that?
It's something to that effect. Or you have, like last year, the Rangers, right before the playoffs started, or right before the trade deadline, they had to. The normal roster is 20 people. And because they were going to be over it, they had to play only 19. So there were only 19 people on the bench. So, but anyway, I don't know the nuts and bolts of that stuff.
Well, you don't have transfers as such, do you?
No, just trades.
No.
Yeah.
Today was the trade deadline. So
and that's always in the off season.
No, you can trade during the season, and then today was the last day. I think it's for to be eligible for that player to be on your playoff roster, and the playoffs start in the middle of April.
Right. Okay.
It'd be like in basketball, spending all your money to get LeBron James in because you're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's the footballing equivalent of what West Ham used to do when they'd be in trouble come 17th of March or whatever it'd be, and then they'd go and buy Paul Kitson and John Hartson, and then win 8 out of the last 10 games and survive.
Yeah.
That was
the
reason they got rid of the football transfer.
Do you prefer the current transfer format where you've got 2 windows, or did you prefer it like the days when we lost Cantona in middle of the season?
I think it's fine now. It's
I just think it
created a
should
new
be in
cottage
January.
industry, though, hasn't it? Fabrizio Romano doesn't exist without there being a transfer window. Because it wouldn't be the same as if he was just pumping out information for 8 months when all transfers can happen all the time. It wouldn't be the same as him building up rumours and then having a full month where he can just be a rapid fire machine gun, where he's knowing about transfer deals before players' wives even know about them.
But there's a thing that came out, was it last week, about him and everything, and the fact that he's just taking bungs and everything to push forward these.
imagine my shock.
These tweets and
to get the
everything.
players' heads turned and
Yeah.
pushing them
that
on
was-
other clubs.
It
It's
came. Yeah,
basically
it came.
promoting
It
the
came
player.
out last week or the week before. I was reading
Just
something
an
about
an
it.
agent's decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's face it, on the last one, was it January or the summer one? He didn't get a lot
He
right
was
to
poor.
begin with.
No, he was poor.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
so it just goes to show, doesn't it, that he was getting fed information to try and make things happen.
Yeah. There's an article about it. Yeah. Let's just say the clickbaity title is Romano taking money to spread transfer rumours? I mean, I'm guessing by the fact that it's even a thing, the answer's probably yes.
Yeah.
But, no idea.
Hey, Tom, I have a question.
Oh, I like questions.
Where can people find more exclusive content about this incredible win today?
Oh my God, I cannot begin to tell you how awesome it will be. On Sundays at 9 p.m. in the United Kingdom, which I believe works out as 4 p.m. under the Eastern Standard Time system, which I believe is in like New Jersey and places like this, you can see our in-depth review of Sheffield Wednesday versus Leeds United, 9 p.m., 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll also go over Stoke game, the Stoke game as well. Double wins, baby, double bubble.
Up to second.
Yeah. And I'll probably find some silly memes as well. For my own amusement.
Possibly, yeah.
Some people will go, "Oh, Tom, what's your biggest dream in life?" When I was 7, they went, "What do you want to be when you're old?" I went, "I want to waste people's time at 9 o'clock on a Sunday night and make them look at photos on the internet." That was my lifelong dream, and I'm achieving it right now.
And that there is top quality advertising.
I said I'd achieve my dream, Mrs. Cunliffe. Anyway, what? Sorry, that was a bit. I
Mrs. Cunliffe, was that your teacher?
Probably. I have a lot of teachers.
I heard something the other day. Some guy saying that he was told.
I bet she had a few nicknames.
I heard a guy saying that he was told off by the teacher, saying, "Hey Jimmy, don't keep on looking out the window. You'll never get anywhere in life looking out the window." And he then says, "This is not to the teacher," but years later he's like, "Yeah, proved her wrong. I'm a lorry driver, always looking out the window."
Imagine
horses for
pilot.
Horses for courses.
Yep. I've had worse things said to me, I must admit. So, yep. Usually says the universe.
What else we got on the agenda?
Oh my God, let me look at my agenda. Wait, you mean we can't talk about Leeds United's win at Sheffield Wednesday for an entire 2 hours? Well, okay then. Okay. You've twisted my arm. What do you mean there's Premier League matches this weekend? What do you mean?
There's a what? Do they exist?
I know. There's a league above us.
That can't be true. That can't be true because on my BBC app, all it's got is Leeds games. It doesn't mention any other teams other than the teams we're playing against. What's this Premier League nonsense?
Who are this Arsenal team? Arsenal versus Brentford. Never heard of them.
What's a Nottingham Forest?
Actually,
I was in West Ham earlier.
There is a good team. There is a team that we can talk about in the Premier League. Luton. We can talk about Luton.
Luton.
They're a real team. They play proper football.
They're a good team to watch for the neutral. Shall we go through these games then? Maybe we should have a little comment.
Sheffield United are a good watch if you want to see goals.
We're not
Yeah,
going
but
to
it's-
mention the last game. Okay, we won't
but-
mention the last game.
but the thing with
Why did they
Sheffield
win?
United games is if you've paid your money for a ticket for a Sheffield United game, you're only going to see the ball in your half of the pitch for at least 45 minutes of the game. So, and then basically, then when they swap sides at half time, if you add it at your end, basically you're not seeing fuck all for the next 45. You might as well go home.
Each ground's having an end of whose net ripples most. It's a competition.
They put money into a pot. It's like the old church, the church building fund.
We
So
can't
shall-
laugh too much because we have been there, haven't we? Let's be honest.
Shall we go through these and make some predictions or something?
I suppose so, yeah.
Go on then.
Hmm.
Go on, Tom. You do the
Okay.
hosting.
Well, basically, Manchester United or Manchester Red, however you want to call them, the scum, the fuckers, the fuzz, the silly muff, whatever you want to call them, they are at home to Everton, who I'm also not particularly fond of. So if there was a way that both of these clubs could lose, I'd appreciate it. But obviously it's not the case.
Sinkhole in the middle of the pitch.
Exactly. I mean, I've had more harsh suggestions than that, but I didn't really want to publicly say anything that ended in like murder or anything like that. So yeah, sinkhole's actually
sinkhole's
perfect.
good,
Thank you
yeah,
for that,
yeah.
Ben.
I'm going to go. Can I just say,
Yeah,
I'm
please.
going to go for an Everton loss. I'm not going to say who I think to win.
Yep.
It's an Everton loss. Okay. Purely
Harrison
because I
on goal.
really want to see them in the mire. So
Yeah.
that's the only
It's
reason.
not unreasonable to suggest that Man United are probably going to win it.
No. Listen. A win for Man United could get them in that Conference League. So, and then the spending cap's limited because they're in European football.
That's true.
Yeah, they're not going to get fifth, are they? Well, you wouldn't think so. There you go. We don't care anyway. It's all about Everton losing just to give Luton a chance of getting out of relegation.
The thing is that annoys me with Everton, though, and I know we've done it to death, sort of, but they all, no matter what happens, they always just find their way to get their head above the pit, the quicksand. And obviously we've discovered since that way is basically overspending on a player that will then get them the points.
Yeah.
Like, should they have bought Richarlison if they couldn't afford to do it via financial fair play? Probably not. Who scored the goals that kept him up? Probably Richarlison to some degree.
Yeah.
People go, oh, they're not meant to have a striker. Well, not one that cost them 50 million. If you ain't got that money. But anyway. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Mr. Ben, who do you fancy out of Bournemouth and Sheffield United?
I'd like Sheffield United to win because I've got a dislike for Bournemouth like a lot of us have nowadays. But I can't see it. I think 3-0.
I do enjoy one good bit of business I think Leeds United have conducted in the past year is we sold Tyler Adams and managed to get in Ampadu, Kamara, Gruev and re-up Archie Gray for less money than we actually got for Tyler Adams, who hasn't played since that deal.
Yeah.
I think that's
Cracking
maybe
piece.
important to point out.
Cracking piece of business that was. You know,
And
he
I
wanted
suppose
out.
that-
You
I
got
suppose
out.
they bought
That's
us as
brilliant.
well, didn't they? Give us
How do you
20
mean,
million for the dickhead. Sinistera.
Yeah.
They've got enough our books.
Yeah.
We should be able to buy Rodon with that next season.
I mean, once the players basically said he'll take you to court if you won't let him go, you've said goodbye to getting good money for him.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows he doesn't want to be there. So the market's immediately
I do
It's-
think if he was in a position to say that, and they were in a position to crumble, I think he probably was on quite good ground, and that maybe the club were trying something on with the terms of the contract. Personally, it wouldn't be the first time we've tried it on. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
JKA.
That's fair. I suppose that's fair. So, I mean, I remember sitting on this show and basically, I don't want to say I was going against Leeds United on this, but I remember saying that I didn't think we had a leg to stand on with the Jean-Kevin Augustin deal. Like, I thought we were trying to pull a fast one, and FIFA were going to pull our pants down over it, and they did. And there were people in the chat, I'm not going to name names, can't remember them, who were like, no, Tom, no, we should actually challenge it, and shit like this. It's like, based on what? But
Based on the fact that he was shite.
yeah, basically. If you could get out of paying for players based on how shit they are, we would have saved so much money over the years.
Yeah,
we'd have
spent more time in the courts than we would have done on the green stuff.
It'd be like, Judge Schneider, it's Leeds United again.
Rinder.
Cameron Stewart is on the dock this time, or whatever. Jimmy Kebe.
Jimmy Kebe.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Do you know how much in the mire we were as a football, how dire it was during that like mid 2010s? Was like, I remember us getting Jimmy Kebe and thinking, oh, this could potentially be quite good because he's still better than what we have. And it was like, oh my God, what am I saying?
I got excited over Scott Wootton. That's how bad football was at the time.
Dave, anyone that got you thinking, oh, this might be slightly better than shit?
No,
another one, Michael Ricketts.
Oh, was the post relegation.
Where did he come from?
Bolton.
We got him from Middlesbrough.
Bolton.
He joined Middlesbrough in between us and Bolton.
But he was banging him in at Bolton.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
remember him getting his England
What happened there? Who was the manager at that time?
Was it Allardyce? Oh, our manager.
Yeah.
Kevin Blackwell, was it?
The only reason I disagree with that, Lolo, is because if you'd have this time last year, you'd have probably watched Burnley playing football in the Championship and thinking, oh, they look really good. They'll have a good crack at the Premier League playing football they do.
Yeah.
How do you think Burnley are doing now, sir? Sheffield United as well were like a runaway second place team in the Championship. Hence why me and David and Ben are sitting here going, we need to bring in players.
We've got a foundation of players that you just put better players around them and they'll grow properly.
We've done this dance before, let's just say, and you know.
He wouldn't understand. Because they get worried if they, not in the top 5, 6, That'd be like the end of the world.
Don't get me wrong. I fully appreciate that he feels we have players that can compete.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be in the situation where, like we were 4 years ago, where it was like, oh, these players can compete for us for 3 years in the Premier League.
These players are good enough to compete in the Premier League, but they're not good enough to carry the players that aren't good enough to compete. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I think our defending has shown that you will get punished. We would have been basically Firpo's back pass against Liverpool. We 1-0 Liverpool. The goalkeeper made a great save, but Salah would have put it around him.
Yeah,
but we've conceded 3 goals all year in the league, and then we play a Premier League team and concede 3 in one game. So that's the levels.
Exactly right. Sorry, what was you saying before I answered Lolo's point?
You mean what were you saying before Lolo interrupted you?
Is John like my conscience where he says what I'm really thinking?
Yeah.
Like,
He is the voice in your head.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, before Lolo just came in with a great question, and John's like, he interrupted you, son. Actually, I don't know why I gave him like Steve Austin's voice, but anyway. Sorry, what?
Right then, shall we move on to the next game, which is probably the game of the weekend?
What do you deem the game of the weekend, Dave?
That would be Crystal Palace
Luton.
against Luton. That's the game that I'll
London
be
Borough
watching.
derby.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at the bottom one. I'm seeing Bournemouth versus Luton. I'm thinking they're playing Crystal Palace. They're on there twice.
Oh, we've got double Luton this week. Good.
Fantasy Premier League fans who have got Ross Barkley are going to be thrilled. Because they've got me 2 away games.
Did I hear correct that a team that plays in the same city as Manchester City may be interested in taking on Ross Barkley?
That has been floated around social media, I believe.
Really? That just shows where they are then, doesn't it? I mean,
It's
he's had a
really
great
not-
season, but
Yeah, for Luton.
yeah.
Like, that's the context of it. Like, not to disrespect anyone. I mean, by the same token,
think
it
he'd be
smacks
great,
of the same
don't they?
sort of... Sorry, Ben?
I think he'd be a great signing for him.
I definitely think they should do it, of course. But
What do you reckon for us? What do you reckon if he came to us?
We've been there, done that.
Yeah, but he was younger then, wasn't he?
Hmm.
Didn't have his head on.
But he don't fit the model of what we're doing for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Where'd you play him?
Oh,
I mean, someone's got to
centre mid,
hold
doesn't he?
Rooter up, haven't they? When he's
Yeah.
going, let's go to the camera, and he's almost delirious.
He's
Would he
all right
take-
for Carabao Cup games, I suppose.
Yeah, he's got the thing is the guy's got the experience, hasn't he? I think he's playing the best.
He's got
football
listen.
played.
He's got
he's
a
played
good
for years.
footballing brain on him. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I just think I think there's better out there for the wages.
But you're telling me that Barkley could go to Man United? It just sounds like 2 years ago when they went and got Christian Eriksen. It
Yeah.
doesn't sound that different. It's basically a player that's probably of a lower standing than he should be, and they're going to take him for next to nothing.
Hmm.
It feels like I've heard this record before. I mean, admittedly, Barkley did not die during an international tournament and then come back to life. Admittedly, but I mean, as in like taking that player from a lower tier Premier League side, let's just say. Because let's be fair, there are leagues within the Premier League, clearly.
Yeah. There's 3.
Yeah.
3 leagues, without a doubt. So
But
what do we
yeah,
reckon
that
for the
being said-
result on that one? Palace against Luton. Who are we going for?
I'm going to go 1-1.
I think it's going to be a Desmond. I don't say that lightly, though, because Crystal Palace's home form is usually what keeps them above water.
Yeah. I think I might have to go 2-1 Palace on that. As much as I don't want to, I think that's what I might have to go for. So that nicely brings us on to the second biggest
Mr.
game of the weekend.
Mr.
Doesn't it?
Mackenzie's Wolves.
Indeed. They played some good football this year, Wolves.
Yeah, I feared for them first few weeks. What lie, but yeah, they've come on well.
Mm.
I think
Fallen
it's
off
quite
the
a tasty
wayside
matchup.
a bit,
It's
haven't
Yeah, but it's still an hard one to call because Fulham are inconsistent, aren't they? It's
a real middle of the table clash, isn't it?
You don't know what Fulham's going to turn up, do you? But then
same goes for Wolves.
Wolves are at home. I'm going to go 3-1 Wolves.
I think it was awfully brave of Fulham to sell their striker and then keep Raul Jimenez. Have they sold Raul Jimenez since Fulham? Is he still there?
No.
He's still there, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So Fulham are in 12th and Wolves are 10th. So, and let's be fair, Wolves are 10th, despite not being a favourite of the officials. Oh, thank you, John.
Yeah, I'll go for Wolves 2-0.
Yeah, that it's the sort of game where the home team's probably going to just edge it.
Yeah.
If it was at Fulham, I'd probably say Fulham would win it 1-0. But Wolves are home, so yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Under 2.5 goals in betting speak, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So what we got next? Oh,
next game, Villa Spurs.
Yeah, Villa versus Spurs. Because we skip North London, obviously. It's just the rule on the Stoop when it's the We All Love Leeds takeover. So I think Villa will win this 3-2.
I'm playing my Desmond.
Ooh, the Desmond card.
Sound like Ben Bloom there, didn't I'm playing my Desmond.
Did anyone see his watch along tonight? Not to promote other things, but
I can't watch other people watch Leeds. It's just, I just want to watch it on my own. It's bad enough when Mr. Tom's tweeting goal 3 minutes before we actually score on my stream. I tapped our last. I went, yeah, I'm going to score in a minute. Monto popped up, bang.
And you know it's Leeds because I don't acknowledge any other.
Right? You typed goal and we still haven't won the ball in our own half.
In my defence, if it had been a Sheffield Wednesday goal, I would have just disappeared into the ether. You would have never known. So if you get if your phone buzzes and it's me, you know something happened that you're probably going to like.
Can I ask you, Tom, where was you watching the game?
In a cave in Afghanistan.
Okay. That cave's got a very good stream.
No way a cave in Afghanistan's got a better stream than me.
No, I was watching it on Sky, in all truth.
On a US satellite.
Was that like proper Sky?
Yeah.
How can you watch it in Afghanistan when they've got a Taliban?
Taliban.
That's a shit joke, but it's funny.
Oh my god. On that note, can we kind of put a little stop on the upcoming schedule, because we have the little betting in the dark, and we'll come back to this.
Yeah.
Why not?
Go on, Tom.
You good?
Yeah, but because of the old hosting stuff, I forgot to gather my aquatic friends.
We have time.
Okay, but when you say we have time, do you mean like I'll have 4 seconds or?
Let's just do it. Poor Cyril. Here we go.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love, place your bets.
All right, you're going to have to make do with Virgil this week. So, anyway. So, this is Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom. We're going to call it the Where's Lolo Again edition. And thank God those 2 knuckleheads aren't here, supposedly. Anyway, Did you all know that We All
true.
Love Leeds is on at 9 p.m. on a Sunday? Anyway, what? Sorry. Yeah, on a Sunday. Yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern. Anyway, so going to start off with something nice and simple to work our palate. As I say every week, Arsenal, this has got 4-1 all over it. Saka first, Havertz to score. You just can't go against their current run of form, surely.
I think I picked 4-1 on my Super 6.
They're going to rain the goals in on this lad, aren't they? Thomas Frank's going to be very upset.
How many's Havertz scored?
Got a
It
few
feels like
lately,
he
hasn't
has scored a lot recently.
he? Yeah.
I don't know if he actually has, but
He's chipped in with the goal here and there, and I
Mm.
think he's got 2 in the last 2 games at least. As
it
soon as
feels-
I said he was crap, he started scoring.
Well, I'll say it then. He's crap.
let's say they are doing well. They are obviously riding that wave. They've got to get as many points as they can before they go to the Etihad, obviously.
Look, they're surprising the hell out of me because they're scoring bags of goals. They've got no striker, and he's playing.
Do you think like the football is going down this weird trend, like where it's sort of copying Pep, where it's like we're going to try and win things without a striker and just have loads of attacking midfielders, and we all take turns to score?
There's a lot of teams who sort of play that way, isn't there now?
Yeah.
And it's all the same, trying to play it out the back. I mean, when even Wednesday tonight, how many times did they lay out, set up, like when it's a goal kick, and it's like, no, you're not really going to try and play out from the back, are you?
Scooby, how can I pick the Leeds game when we just played? Okay, we'll do a live betting in the dark right now. We're just going to go, I pick Leeds to win 2-0 at Sheffield Wednesday.
It'll never happen.
I'll pick Bamford to score first.
Yep, and also Nonto anytime. Yeah.
Anytime Nonto, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll earn yourself nothing because it'd be a late bet. But anyway.
And we don't pick Leeds because we don't like betting on our own team.
That's the reason. It's simply that. Because then if I pick, because I'm not going to pick Leeds to lose. It was also difficult, I found, in the Premier, because there were games where it was like, oh, Leeds are playing Tottenham. It was like, but I don't think we're actually going to win at Tottenham. So I felt guilty, like basically going like, oh, well, Leeds are going to win this one. I'm like, well, I'm telling people something that I don't think is going to happen.
Profiteering from your team losing.
Yeah, basically. Or the opposite, where it's like, I'm getting the bet wrong. And it's wrong twice, because betting on your own team, if you don't win, it hurts twice. Put it simply. 5 on it, plus whatever YouTube takes. Well, that's very kind of you, Jimmy. Lolo, we're making you money, mate.
We're taking, $250 each. I'm going up to his house now and getting it from his wife. $250.
Getting it from his wife.
John, before you go to visit Lolo's house, can you actually put the second slide up, please, sir? Thank you. Now I'll stall on this one, or you can stay here and just say it's your alibi, because obviously that's never been a thing on this show. I'm winking at the camera like. Definitely been a thing on this show. Anyway, we've gone Man City to win 3-1 at Anfield.
Oh, I'd love that.
Erling to score twice, of course, and Foden to score, because it's hard to oppose Foden at the moment, isn't it? Because
Foden's on fire, isn't he?
Exactly right. And that will net you 128. mean,
like that.
go the other way, but still.
You really see him scoring at the ground with the world famous 1 minute atmosphere.
You know what? I'm instantly regretting my decision because that minute where they just sing "You'll Never Walk Alone" and then go like a phone on silent. Saying that, we've been taking a hammering from the Leicester fans for our atmosphere outside
It
of
was
the
great for
10-minute
15
period
minutes.
where it was incredible.
That's all
Sorry,
you
what's
need.
happening?
That's all you need.
The was it the Huddersfield game? Was it? No, not Huddersfield. The Stoke game. That was a bit quiet there. Sounded it on telly anyway. Maybe it was a bit noisier at the
Yeah.
actual game, but I think that shows that people were a bit pensive, worried about the result.
Yeah, plus how up for Stoke can you get on a Wednesday night?
Yeah. I was going to go up to it, but I had builders in, and that was my excuse not to go up to it, which I'm glad I didn't actually. It's a long way to drive, and it's even a longer way to drive back at night, especially if the second half was shit, wasn't it? But there you go.
Reds one,
Yeah.
again. Lolo thinks
yeah.
it's going to be KDB in the dying minutes of the game. Apparently, if Arsenal do win and then this turned out to be a draw, there's like 2 points separating the top 3 teams in the Premier League.
That'd be good.
It's massively rare. I was reading an article earlier. Like, usually it'd be a 2-horse race, but a 3-horse race at this stage is very rare.
I don't care who wins as long as it's not Liverpool.
Yeah. It's hard to say, isn't it, who actually is going to take it. It's hard to go against Man City just because they've got the finances to have put together the team that is used to winning.
Yeah.
It'd be different if it was an FA Cup, but
it is a case of whoever finishes above City, isn't it?
exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah. And as much as I dislike Liverpool,
Arsenal could end up top after this game. So
I can't see Arsenal winning it. I just can't see that. Liverpool have been.
Do you see Arsenal as like the Ipswich in this scenario?
They are certainly the disadvantaged party in terms of like
manpower.
I mean, from a pure like financial perspective, because I know they've spent 100 million on a player, so I know how ridiculous that sounds as a sentence. What I just said, like I appreciate that, but I mean, like, but Liverpool would have you believe that they beat Man City to the title on a shoestring, for example, and that like they had like the world record fee for a defender. I don't know if that's been surpassed. But like they've got Virgil van Dijk, and they'd have you believe like they were like Leicester winning the title.
It got surpassed by Harry Maguire.
Exactly.
They did that in the League Cup final, didn't they? The Liverpool babes, all that sort of shit. When actually the average age of the Chelsea team was younger than the Liverpool starting team, and they were still. The average age was still younger, even when Liverpool did bring on their academy kids.
These football rules are bollocks. Sorry, just quickly to interrupt. That was rude of me. I hate the football rules that dictate that those are Liverpool academy players, because like you buy Harvey Elliott from Fulham when he's 16 for 4 million, then all of a sudden you get to claim like you produced him, and legally you did. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he weren't the only one. Like, there were a couple that had been at Liverpool since they were like 8. Like, so I'm not going to take that away from them. But a lot of them were like, oh, we bought this player from Celta Vigo when he was 17, and now he's 19 or whatever. And it's like, oh, they're just kids. It's like, yeah, but they never scouted them in the way like they weren't in the fucking park in Vigo when he was 5 or whatever. they didn't have Lolo out there, because I know Lolo goes there on his summer excursions to Vigo.
Me too. Me too.
What, they scouted you, John?
Yeah.
What's that?
Liverpool scouted you, John?
Yes, they did, but they don't.
Did you suck, John?
They don't appreciate somebody playing football with a hockey stick in their hand. And this is the longest version ever of betting in the dark.
You wanted it.
you got
John,
the extended version.
would you please show the third and final new talent for Happy Hour? I'm going with this is purely a financial. Basically, if I went the other way, I'd pay less. So I've gone Newcastle 2-1, Chelsea to score first through Jackson, and then Ishak to score one of the 2 Newcastle goals. Well, at least one. He could score both here, still count. Nearly 200 quid. Ding, ding.
Yeah, I think
I see Chelsea winning.
Do you?
Yeah.
Mm.
They're both as inconsistent as each other.
I'm gonna go.
That's
with
why I
Newcastle win.
kind of went. Whoever would score would end up losing, because it's like they both like to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. So, sorry, David, you were saying.
It's that Stamford Bridge, isn't it? So that's a difficult one.
Well, we nearly won there, so not
Yeah, no, I'll go with the Newcastle win. I'm not sure Jackson scoring first. I don't know. Would Newcastle have the fortitude to come back from being 1 down at the bridge?
You get with Newcastle though. You get these like they won't win games you think they will, and then they'll go and pull something out of the bag. They had the fortitude to come back from 2 goals down against Luton. I know that's different.
Yeah,
but Luton had scored 4 goals at that point. But anyway. So that is betting in the dark for this week. Wait a minute, bonus. There's a 4th one. And it's for the Sky Bet Championship. I shouldn't have said their name. Anyway, going Cardiff to win. Kiefer Moore's going to score first. And then, you know what? Just went, fuck it. Carl and Grant. Because I looked through who the Huddersfield top scorers were. The Cardiff. Why did I say Huddersfield? That's because he's wearing a fucking Huddersfield kit.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Sorry. So Freudian slip. So I went, who is Cardiff's top scorer? It's Perry NG, who's a defender.
That good, eh?
What does NG stand for?
I think I'll get the show thrown off air if I suggest. No, I don't know.
I didn't actually mean that. I just thought you just said NG. Or is it Perry Ng?
I think it is that.
Right.
I
think Kiefer Moore's going to score an own goal. Kiefer Moore's going to forget that he's not playing for Cardiff anymore and put it in his own net.
Played for a lot of teams, hasn't he, Kiefer Moore? It feels like he's on loan for Bournemouth.
He's a Cardiff boy. He's a Cardiff boy, though, isn't he? So
yeah.
10 points from 6 games, Cardiff. Mid-table in the form guide.
Yeah.
Look, this is one of them games that can trip anyone up.
Yeah.
It's a case of don't sit back on a 1-goal lead.
That's my biggest contention with Ipswich's form. It's like teams go at them and manage to get past, because Ipswich defence is not fantastic, is it? Clearly, with respect to them. But then teams go for them, score in the first 10 minutes, and then completely change. And more teams do it than don't.
And I keep thinking, eventually they've got to trip up with conceding so many goals. But they've lost the least of all of us.
Yeah.
They've only lost 4 games.
Like someone, it might have been Bono, with respect to him, had said, he said something in the chat about they eventually are going to go back to their form is going to regress and they'll drop off. And it's like, yeah, but we said that 10 games ago.
Mm-hmm. You know
And
what?
that drop-off is
Even
not
whilst
good.
this is up on the screen, I'm expecting to see that scoreline change, because that's what happens when Ipswich are playing.
I get the feeling that if I walk away from the screen for 30 seconds and come back,
It'll be 3-2.
Twice. Yeah.
I feel like the minute I'd finished texting 2-1 to who did you just play? I've forgotten. 2-1 anyway, Bristol.
City, wasn't it?
It was 2-2. Yeah, it was 2-2. Yeah. And then
they missed a penalty, and I still sat there just thinking, well, we'll score a minute later anyway.
And they did.
Yeah. It just prolonged. Do you know what hurt more? It was the hope that it gave me.
Do you not feel that was Southampton a few weeks back? They were just getting them goals out of nowhere, and
yeah, it was, and now they're not. Now they're not. So maybe we can only hope that that's what will happen with Ipswich.
But we just have to keep winning. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
The thing was, as soon as Southampton lost a game, I don't want to tempt fate with this, but we all sort of suspected like the house of cards would fall down, right?
Especially that when they lost the game in hand. That was the one.
That
was a killer for them.
Yeah. Would they lose 3 out of 4 following the defeat? Or including the defeat?
Yeah, something like that.
Incredible. I suppose the thing is, obviously, we haven't really discussed it much because we've played 2 games since last week where we played Huddersfield, but that draw felt like a defeat, even though it wasn't.
Doesn't that show you it's not just what we've got used to, but what we now expect? Our expectations have gone sky high.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean to sound arrogant saying it, but it felt like we'd lost because of Ipswich then winning.
I think not only that, it was the style of the performance. It was shocking. So that's even if you play really to your best ability and you lose on the day to a better side, then at least you can say, well, at least we gave it a real go, blah 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 blah. But we were just shocking in that game.
So, in our defence, it was hard to get going against them tactics.
Did you notice tonight? I pointed it out on another chat that I was on. That their tactic tonight, Sheffield Wednesday, was that they would do a tug on the shirt. Any player that was running by one of their players, he'd grab hold of them and just tug on the shirt just to stop the forward motion. Happens so many times, unbelievable. But obviously something they had spoken about before the game. Just if somebody's on a run, just give them a tug, just to unsettle them.
What other show were you on? This is it. You can't be on any other show.
No, this wasn't a show. It was a private chat. I can do many things at the same time.
Okay,
John.
good. Okay.
Yeah. I got worried then for a second, but no, it's exactly right. They obviously attempted to do the Huddersfield playbook to an extent.
Oh,
it's on us to overcome it. Yeah.
I didn't. I thought they weren't dirty.
I thought they tried to play more football. I think they
did play more football. Some of their movements, some of their passing early on was really good.
I mean, in that you've got to be more physical because that's going to disrupt us.
Yeah, but they weren't as physical as Huddersfield. Huddersfield is a case if you say physical, Huddersfield were just dirty. Yeah. Sheffield Wednesday might have been physical, but they weren't going to maim our players.
I'll tell you what. Can I just say, I thought the referee
Huddersfield
played
tactics
well.
were just dog shit. Yeah, he did. I thought he was a bit poor for them in places. One of their players got booked for a body check on the halfway line, like 10 seconds after we'd just done it to them,
Right.
where we sandwiched their player, and I just thought, look, I'm not
Bit
complaining,
harsh.
but I've got a mate who's a Wednesday fan, you know, and I just thought if you're gonna pick it up, you got to pick it up for both teams. So.
Yeah.
I think
But
generally
other than that, he
speaking,
didn't. Nothing he did stood out wrong. So
No, I thought he was quite good. You measure a good referee by him being pretty anonymous during the game, and I thought he was. You know,
Yeah.
like, he let a few things go that he could let go, and then if there was something that needed,
he was
sort
good
of
at
bringing
playing
back,
the
he did
advantage.
it.
To be fair
Yeah.
to him,
Yeah, and the cards that he gave out, apart from the one you mentioned, they were deserved. You know.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought he did all right.
it wasn't that sort of game though, was it? Where there was.
No, there was just niggly. Like I say, I noticed straight away. It was Firpo. He looked like he fell over in a defending. This was early on, probably after about 10 to 15 minutes.
was that on
When
a corner?
actually, no, it was a break from their half. But what actually happened, because I clocked that one as well, is that their defender gave him a tug and he fell over. But it happened about 5 times to other players. It happened a few times to Archie Gray when he went to make these runs forward, under laps. And as he was making the run forward, as he was going past one of their players, they just give him a pull, which would just stop the momentum of his run.
Yeah,
it's quite a clever little tactic because it doesn't get picked up because it's not that bad.
well, because the ref's watching the ball, isn't he, for the most part as well?
Yeah. He can't watch everything, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, quite a not but not physical.
I mean, to be fair, had we lost that game and it played out the same way, I'd still be sitting here going, the ref was fine. Because he was. Like, nothing he did really affected the outcome of the contest. Which is all you can really ask for.
If we was to lose that game, it would have been shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah,
exactly
reasoning,
right.
Yeah, as I say, I went into the game a little bit concerned, thinking it was a potential banana skin.
That's just because it's Leeds. Yeah.
But yeah, I did think it was a potential banana strip.
I'll be back in 2 minutes, Tom, so
know.
you can discuss this nonsense coming up.
It's fine. That's no problem, John. No problem. So
did we get sidetracked back onto Leeds?
Yeah, but that's the best thing to get sidetracked back onto, isn't it?
Probably. Without counting that.
So what
are we on to? Where are we?
My mate Sam Greenwood. My mate Sam Greenwood usually says I'm a Leeds magician because I can turn anything into something to do with Leeds United.
That sounds good.
But
your local side.
Brighton. On Dave's local side. Sorry, I thought you meant mine. I was thinking, are we on West Ham yet? No. So
they got hammered midweek, didn't they? Welcome to the proper levels of European football.
Even the fans got hammered.
Yeah, they did, literally.
Yeah, hammered with a knife. I mean, I shouldn't joke about it, obviously, because
bottles and everything going over, weren't there?
The thing with it is that irritates me to some degree. Is if that happened to Roma fans in England, us as a footballing nation would get in so much shit.
Yeah.
Our clubs would be thrown out of Europe because it's not the first time.
Yeah.
But apparently, when it happens to English clubs abroad,
it would have been the same in two.
Roma are known for
it. Way around.
Yeah. Roma have a well-established history of hooliganism. You know, for many years. I go right back to donkey's years ago when Liverpool were the main side in Europe, and their coaches, the coach getting attacked and everything, the team coach. Nothing new, not with the Roma fans. There you go. Anyway, back to Sunday. Brighton against Forest. Are they going to bounce
think
back?
Brighton
Going to win this.
Yeah, I do. I said I can't see any other result really.
I think Brighton are going to edge this. I don't think they'll be as dominant as they maybe have been in the past in this sort of game.
Depends how leggy they are, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think you're seeing the
3-0?
after effects of a Sunday, Thursday team.
I'll go 2-0.
Okay. Tom?
Yeah, I'd say 2-1 Brighton, maybe 2-1. More out of thinking that Forest are shit, but
Yeah. Over to your local team.
so what did you say? What would be, David? Sorry.
Yeah, I said 3-0.
Okay.
Brighton bouncing back.
Is it true? I saw someone say this on social media. Well, let's just say Twitter. But I never heard it, so I don't know if it's true. But when Brighton were losing 4-0, weren't they chanting something about you're just Luton in disguise, or it was something like that?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Because obviously Luton also pummeled them 4-0.
I was probably listening to something else whilst I had the football on, to be honest. 'Cause I think I turned it on when they were 2-0 down or something like that, but they were looking shocking, Brighton were. Well,
Conche asked, was it
Roma
fans
were playing well, maybe.
Was it Roma fans that nearly killed
It
the
was.
Irish Liverpool fan in Liverpool?
It was.
Was it? I don't remember that one.
And you
I
basically
know
do
they've got a
nothing
history.
about it.
I know they've got
Oh,
a history of it.
When it's Italian clubs or non-English clubs, it's all, oh, what can we do? We can't hold the club responsible for the behaviour of the fans. But when it's one of ours, terrible.
He got prosecuted in our country. That fan. I think he bought the knife at a supermarket and then went to the game.
Oh, bloody hell. That being said, speaking of crimes, West Ham versus Burnley are going to get inflicted on our eyes at some point on Sunday.
The claret and blue derby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Maxwell Corday derby.
You can only see one team winning that, really, can't you?
Yeah. I suppose you're right, yeah.
Do you not think that they've got to win sometime?
No.
Yeah, but it won't be Sunday.
Nah.
They're shocking, aren't they? Burnley.
I love how it was all, oh, they're so good in the Championship. Oh, but I'll put it another way. If they weren't managed by a media darling as such, like defensive football royalty, dare I say, they would get much more shit for how they play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
If they were Leeds.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, people said the same thing, like, oh, the way Leeds defend under Bielsa, it's like people excuse it in the media. Like, even Roy Keane excused it. It was like, well, yeah, because we also tried to score goals.
Yeah, that was the difference. Like,
I remember when we lost 6-2 to the Scum, Roy Keane was sat there like, what do you expect me to say? They went forward and didn't score, and then the other team would go forward and score. Like, what am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
The fact that we scored in the 90th minute shows that we're still trying to score.
Exactly. It was like they're trying in the game. And all he wants is 100% effort from people. Say what you will about Roy Keane, but
you're not doing a Sheffield Wednesday and coming and sitting 10 men behind the ball.
Yeah.
Burnley showed what happens when you have too many players on loan and you get promoted with too many players on loan. and you go up
Yeah.
and you don't manage to replace those players, or you don't.
It would have
buy
been exactly the
a
same
squad
with
of
Forest.
40. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they bought
If
like
we were
40,
if we
50
were so
players.
shit.
Yeah, but Forest bought so many players that they're only now being punished for it.
Yeah.
But they bought so many players that, let's say for argument's sake, they bought 25 players. They only need 11 to be good.
Yeah.
But, or put it another way, like for example, last year in the Championship, Burnley had Nathan Teller, who then, when they got promoted, they probably did have a conversation where they went, "Would you want to play for us in the Premier League?" He's like, "Why? I wouldn't ever see the ball."
Mm.
He went up to Bayer Leverkusen, where he's probably going to win the Bundesliga.
Mhm.
And I imagine he sees a lot of the ball on a weekly basis, where he'd be standing up front on his own with Burnley in the Premier League, probably tracking back a bit on corners. But a lot of their loan players obviously knew what was likely to happen in the Premier League, and they didn't want to be a part of it. Do you think that might be the case with Rodon saying that?
That's a good question, isn't it?
There's a steady defender in there. Maybe he's not Tottenham level, but I do think he's better than this level.
I don't mean I think he's bad or not good enough. I mean, do you think he'll think he's too good for Leeds in the Premier League in terms of like?
I think he's already said that he's too good for Leeds in this league. But he's happy enough to, if we go up, come up with us. But in that situation, I don't blame a player for wanting to be at a higher level, do you know? But on the other hand, I say, well, you've done it one season, why can't you do it for a second?
But I also think to myself,
It depends what teams are knocking door down for you, though, I suppose.
Yeah, why hasn't he been picked up before?
Yeah.
You know, when we played Chelsea, I wasn't overly impressed with him. I'll be honest. I thought he looked hurried on the ball. You know, okay, he's playing against better players and everything, but I thought the step up found him out a little bit.
I think the last few games, Ampadu's been the more solid of the two.
Absolutely. Ampadu is a class player, you know, and he's just growing into it, isn't he? Every year that he's playing, he's becoming a better and better player, without a doubt. I mean, him and Gray playing against Chelsea, you know, combined worth or value when they were bought. One's academy, one's, you know, bought for how many? 7, was it? Something silly like that.
Oh yeah, it's silly money, isn't it? Really, it's really.
When they were up against players, what were probably getting on about 150, 200 million, something stupid, you know, ridiculous. I don't know about Rodon.
Did Cooper play against Chelsea? I don't know if I had a bad dream.
He did.
He
See, part of that is because I think as much as Cooper's like organisation, like, because obviously he always got a buy, as in, like, because
he hasn't got the legs.
He hasn't got the speed of the Premier League or whatever, but we did seem to have games where we did better when he was in the team because he was keeping the defence in line. But I've since realised that, no, actually, him being next to Junior Firpo is a fucking disaster waiting to happen. And not strictly Firpo's fault. I think Firpo just does what he's told.
I will go further than that. That Alioski, who wasn't a fullback but did all right there, Helder when he played. Okay, not really up to the level, but when he was there, when Stroik was playing left back, started off fine, but then, you know, went to shit. The common denominator with all of them was that they had Coops inside them. You know, and that's
PG.
You know, so I know it goes against things. A lot of Leeds fans love, and I love the guy for the the commitment he's got to Leeds and everything. But he should have been farmed out years ago. It's not his fault that he's getting found out
Did they?
in games, you know.
This explains why we didn't have much of a transfer budget for the last 3 years. Because did they buy a shrinking machine to shrink Dan Cooper to put inside all these players you just named? I couldn't help it. I couldn't help myself. I'm so mature. Anyway, yeah. So, but no.
Bought it off Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that was a more PG joke to have made rather than the alternative joke that could have been made to David listing loads of players and then saying that Cooper was inside them. Anyway, what? What? So Liverpool playing Man City at the weekend, are they, John? Oh yeah, good. That's a. Let's get away from that.
We've covered this.
Yeah, we covered that one in the betting.
Oh, that's true. We did. Oh, let's go to Chelsea. Oh wait, we already did that one too. Oh, have we got a question of the week? Wait, what? Oh, hang on. Oh, David, you're in for a treat. This is your first time being on screen for a question of the week. Hang on, here we go. Sorry. Let me just. Mr. Tom's question of the week on the Stoop edition. Name these 11 players who have played for both Leeds United and Arsenal.
John
I can't
Lukic.
compete. I know the answers.
Oh crap! I have to think.
Yeah, John Lukic.
One.
So we'll go right
O'Leary.
back. Yeah.
Didn't you have this up on your thing the other day?
I did.
No, it was in the
But
chat
it was
earlier.
not Arsenal. David O'Leary.
Yeah.
Right, let's
David.
give you some tips then.
David Rocastle.
A right back. Yeah, a right back. LA. How many right backs have we had
He
with
was
LA?
on. The clue I'll give for LA is he was on the bench for a Champions League tie between Arsenal and Porto in 2009, I believe.
He's got long hair.
And he would not let Rodrigo forget it.
Jimmy gets it. Yeah, that's correct. Up front, LC.
Hmm.
1990 to 93.
Arsenal were one of his 700 clubs.
Leslie Ash.
Fishman, Trout Pal.
Chappers.
Yeah.
Hello, Colin.
Right, let's go back to the defence. Mr. Alopecia.
Well, they don't work either. I still can't see it.
That's that Brewdog, isn't it? Mr. Alopecia.
Mine's not.
Played alongside Chris Fairclough.
Chris White.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad he said that because the next few I was going to give was Chris Black.
Right, so what we've got to get, JP. Played for Stoke. I think he played. Did he play for us in 2004? Did he?
Yeah, the relegation season. My favourite clue for this gentleman is when he got arrested and pulled over in his car for speeding, he told them his name was Ashley Cole.
Yeah, I can picture him. Jermaine Pennant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, but I'd rather it.
Brilliant.
I want to go with Pincushion's answer of John Prescott.
Right.
Oh,
What we
two
got?
Jermaine
Have we done
Jermaine
JC?
Pennant was a great player. Great
good
player,
little baller,
Jermaine
yeah.
Pennant. Ah,
He-
yeah.
I
On
think
his
he
day.
He was the Leeds 2004
Back in the era
version
where
of
he's-
Ampadu.
Well, he always looked like he was playing in his dad's kit. It was that big on him.
He was
Right,
the player like in
left-
every relegated team that like, you know, he's too good for this team.
He got nicked for drink driving and he was dragging along a lamppost. That's why he got stopped.
Okay.
Right,
So,
who else are we
obviously,
looking at?
Did anyone get JC?
JC at left back.
A clue, he got sent off about 10 seconds into his Arsenal debut. And
When
I'm
was
sure
his
he played
Arsenal
for Leeds
debut?
now. Yeah, but I'm sure he got.
He shares a surname with someone called Russell, who's a Leeds fan.
Cross.
No.
What's his name? Fucking Cross.
Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
Good
I
point
can't
there.
think of it. I can't
John,
think. I can't,
John
can't think.
Garside. Good point. Sanchez what?
I can't even think of the actor's surname.
I love Sanchez.
Crow.
That's it.
The answer would be Jason Crow.
With an
I
E.
remember when apparently Sanchez Watt once got sent off because the referee booked him, asked him what his last name was, and he went, "What?" And the ref went, "What's your last name?" He went, "What?" So he sent him off, and then one of the other players had to explain, "No, that's his name. His name is Watt, W-A-T-T." So he had to like rescind the sending off immediately, obviously.
The NK was Neil Kilkenny. Just if you didn't know.
Oh my God, this is future technology. It's filled itself in live on the stoop.
I'm never
We all
doing
love
that
Leeds.
again.
Who was on the left side of midfield?
Neil Kilkenny.
And Sanchez Watt, I
Rocastle.
believe, is the winner.
Sanchez what? Yeah.
Okay.
Still not got JC though.
Yeah, we did. Russell Crowe. Jason Crowe.
Yeah. With an E. Crow with an E.
Yep. I mean, this was a bit cheeky because Neil Kilkenny is not technically. I don't think he actually made an appearance for Arsenal, but he was on the books, and I didn't want to use Ben White because he's a prick.
Should have put Seaman in goal with Lukic then. Two keepers.
Yeah.
Interesting. Coming up on next week's episode of the We All Love Leeds show, name these 11 goalkeepers who have played for Chelsea and Leeds.
I'd so love Eddie Beach.
Whatever happened to Eddie Beach?
He's
You know
rotting
what?
in
I'm
here at
gonna
that
look it up
horrible
right
club.
now.
He's
Yeah.
rotting at that horrible club.
What has happened to Eddie Beach? We should start a free Eddie Beach campaign, you know?
Okay.
I'll get something made up.
I'm going to make you all feel old. Edward James Beach, born 9th of October 2003, is a professional footballer who plays as a goalkeeper for National League club Gateshead on loan from Chelsea and the Wales under-21 national team.
So it's in
he
York
has
City's
played.
league.
Okay.
He played 20 games for Chelmsford last season on loan. And he's now on loan at Gateshead, where he has played no games. So, no idea
That's
what's going on there.
working out well for him then.
Yeah, but to be fair, this is Wikipedia, so no one's actually probably just bothered to
I'll tell you
update
what,
it.
Probably.
Gateshead's a long way from home for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fair point. I mean, so he went from the Southampton Academy to the Chelsea Academy. Obviously, I wonder why. 1,000 reasons why, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, this
He could be
lad,
number 2 this season at Southampton if he'd have stayed.
he's 20 years old, and it feels like we've known him for about 15 years.
That kid, that Beadle was 19, was he, today?
Yeah.
But on one hand, he was 20. Sorry, I meant to say on the other hand. Sorry. On the other hand, it was massive. Yeah, what? Wait, what? Anyway, that's not PG.
He had one of them wrestling gloves on, and then the other one was just normal.
So, yeah. Oh, wow. We've been going for nearly 2 hours.
Got any
Let's
shows
talk
to
about
promote?
one football match for 2 hours. It's amazing. Longer than the match.
I've got any shows to promote?
David, it's a question on my wrestling show. I usually ask this question to all the guests. So, David, are you going to be anywhere on YouTube in the next week, sir?
I might be tomorrow night at 9:00. I might be watching a certain We All Love Leeds on Sunday, rather, not tomorrow. On Sunday.
I was going to say that would have been really interesting if you'd been watching We All Love Leeds tomorrow at 9.
I would have been watching. I would have been watching last week's as a replay because it was so good last week.
It'd be like,
yeah, I want on it.
This Huddersfield draw was falling. But yeah, in all seriousness, yeah, Ian's right. Actually, technically, it would be correct of you to say that because it's technically already Saturday. So,
true.
God bless our pedantic Ian, king of the pedants. But yeah, that being said, Ben, are you going to be anywhere on YouTube in the next week?
Yeah. I'm going to be on We All Love Leeds, 9:00 Sunday, 4 p.m. EST.
I've got a question for you, Tom.
Oh, thank you.
Obviously, you're going to be on We All Love Leeds.
Yeah.
But are there any other YouTube channels you may be on this week?
Oh my God! Let me unfold the scroll of shows.
Have we got an hour?
Yeah.
Have we got an hour?
No, we'll basically tomorrow at 3 p.m. we're going to do our show where we go through the scores as they're going in, I suppose.
The video printer, is it called?
Yeah. It's basically like it's all the elements of Soccer Saturday, but worse. So, good fun. Oh my God, the clocks go forward in America on Sunday. Never accounted for that. Well, anyway,
I feel the director of this show should have accounted for that.
Well, I was going to say, if you happen to have already subbed to the show, it won't matter because it'll just tell you anyway, and then you can just go, oh.
You're going to take time to think about that decision, referee. God.
Definitely not the referee from today's game because he was determined to not send anyone off for anything. But in all fairness,
just kept saying relax, didn't he? He was like, relax.
Yeah.
Oh, it was brilliant. Like even when we did something where I thought, oh God, this is going to be a card. And he was just turning like I think Firpo could have punched someone in the back of the head, and he'd have been like, Firpo, just chill out, mate. You're already winning. There's no point in getting angry at football.
I thought he did very well where Somerville early on was getting pulled, and
Yeah.
then Somerville had enough and turned around and sort
That's
of
the one
pushed
I'm thinking
back.
of. Thank you.
Pushed
Yeah.
back.
Did you
but
see him
the
do? Did you
player
see him
went
do it
down.
again later on off pitch? He
No, I
he shoved him again off pitch. He was taking no shit off him tonight. I think
You
he
think
learned
he's
from the
getting to that
Huddersfield
point?
game.
He's getting to that
I
point,
think
isn't he?
he's thinking, yeah.
He's
fuck
like,
this.
I'm sick of this fucking people kicking me and whatnot.
He's got his little Dutch gangster because he's from the streets, isn't he?
The trouble was that that if that had been in the Premier, you could end up getting a red card for something like that. Something
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah. Because his arm did make contact, didn't it? You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
I have
their
to s-
player did make
Go
a
on.
meal of it.
Of
Oh
course
yeah.
he did. But when you do that, you give him that option. And
Yeah, you giving
definitely
the referee an
100%,
excuse, aren't you?
100% VAR would have sent him off. 100%.
Are you guys going to stay on for a little bit after the show's over?
Have we got a
I
link?
won't be. I'm going to be shortened, I have to say.
Fucking
Okay.
20.
Yes or no? I'll
John, deliver the link to these fine young gentlemen in the chat, or ladies.
because if
let's
you
be
notice,
realistic,
there's
gentlemen.
I see 55 people watching, and when Lolo and Mark are on, it's like 20. So
Too much talk about Arsenal. That's what that is.
Shh.
I don't have the benefit this week of that. I'm just on the budget link.
But to be fair, we do have the luxury of our very own director, which is it's just quite nice to not have to be going click, 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 click. But anyway, so David, thank you for joining us.
Actually, I might
Thank
just
you.
grab
Good to
another
see
one and
you.
join you behind.
Yeah, man.
No harm in that.
Yeah,
It's good having you, though. It's good to be back anyway, people. It's good to see you all.
absolutely. Nice to see you all.
Yeah, everyone was so disappointed when they discovered, oh, it's the 1 week I'm not going to be on the show. And then Ben's like, I'll be there then.
I didn't even know when I said I'll be in. I didn't read anything. I just thought
that's what I
it's the
said
first
too.
Friday night. It's the first Friday night I've had off in God knows how long. I just thought, oh, sorry, I'll go on Stoop, and then I find out no one's here. No offense to you two, but yeah,
We know what you mean.
it's been a pleasure standing in. It's been a pleasure standing in for Mark.
No, you're part of the family, Ben. And like they say with families, you cannot see them for 72 years, and then when you reappear, it's like you was never away, or some sentiment like that. So I read that in a Hallmark card. So
Or you're lowering them into the ground, yeah.
exactly, exactly right.
I feel I've got a lot more sensible since I was last on. I think I'm a bit more YouTube trained.
Well, you didn't have much to work with to begin with, so.
That being said, I want to thank Jimmy, Ian, Bono. I believe he's probably lurking around out there.
Everyone,
out
Bandy,
there.
everyone.
Yeah, even Bandy, who will
miss
take
Bandy.
great
Where are you,
pleasure
man?
in saying that he was right and I'll be wrong.
No, and I hope
I
he
didn't
is.
think it was unreasonable of me to not try and chase Leicester.
No, look,
That was it.
listen. You have an opinion. He has an opinion. That's the great thing about football.
That's what it's all about.
Yours is wrong and his is right.
I had said at the time that I wanted him to be right.
Yeah.
Obviously. Why wouldn't I want Leeds to do well? Just over me thinking that we weren't going to catch them. That's it. But, again, oh, hello, Richo. I mean, you're not going to find many of them in here, with respect, but, well, I mean, they're probably out of...
I think, Richo, my friend, you're saying hello to yourself.
Bless him.
But of course,
No,
like,
welcome, my
anyone's-
friend, welcome. And
of course,
we're
great to see people.
not going to lie. We hate Manchester United, but we're
good
not
luck.
rooting for you at the weekend.
Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, everyone boo that man. No, I'm joking. Not
We
serious.
don't
not
like
serious.
cheats.
So that's one less
Don't-
subscriber we'll have.
Yeah.
He comes in and says hello, and you guys like jump on him.
Don't.
No.
don't,
Welcome, Richard. Welcome.
Yeah.
It's
No,
just,
don't-
you've
attack
joined
him
us
on
on the Leeds show, the 1 week where we've overtook. So you probably get more
Took
airtime
over.
next week.
The hostile takeover. It weren't that hostile. They politely asked us to do it. It's one of those games where whoever wins. I'm just gonna watch the fallout, and that's it. Because I'm not gonna watch the game.
Yeah, I really.
I'm not
I
gonna
don't
waste my
really
time
care.
watching it.
If
We'll
they stay up, they
not
stay up.
celebrate.
If they don't, they don't.
Yeah, we'll not celebrate with the winners, but we will definitely laugh at the losers. So that's it.
Well put.
If they stay up, I hope we're playing them next year. If they don't, I hope we're not.
There you go. So that being said, thank you. Also to Conche as well, because it was rude of me to have not mentioned him. So thank you for the support. Thank you for supporting the show when obviously you generally tune in expecting to see certain
Thank you,
faces
Jimmy,
that
for
you
the
never
donation.
saw tonight.
Just thank Jimmy for the donation. Sorry for interrupting.
Oh yeah, no, of course. No, you did the right thing. That's very cool. I mean, that kind of implies that we are more profitable to the channel than Lolo, clearly, because just the financial metrics of it and all that. That's not even me being. I've been a massive dick about it, but anyway.
Right.
And have a good night, everyone. John, if
Have
you're
a
ready
good
to play
weekend.
us out.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers.
Yes, of course. Thank you for that as well, keeping us all honest.
Catch you later.